Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Miners Twitter Space. And my name is Mary, and I will be your host. But not only me today, we have a co-host, Noah. Are you here, Noah? Yes, Noah is here. And we have also the people from STEPN token. We are going to host STEPN or STEPN. How do you pronounce that, guys? STEPN token.
I think it's STEPN.
STEPN. All right.
I think I'll let them confirm that. But thank you so much for having me today, Mary, and thank you to the Crypto Miners for hosting myself, Noah, and Will Coin Talk.
Lovely to have you here. What is your name?
My name is Noah.
Oh, your name is Noah as well?
Yeah, well, I'm Noah from Whale
sorry.
Coin Talk.
Hi,
No worries. We're the ones that are co-hosting it with you.
Yeah. I thought there was someone from STEPN token talking too.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Here we have someone from STEPN token.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm Becca, known as STEPN Europe. So thank you for having us today.
Great. I think we have some other people as well with us.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Mary. Hi, Noah. My name is Fire Launcher. I'm also from STEPN team, and thanks for having us today.
Hey, hello, Fire Launcher. And we have James as well, I think. Hi, James.
Yeah.
Hi, Noah. Great to hear you guys.
Yeah, can you hear me well, everyone?
Loud and clear.
Yeah,
Perfect.
definitely.
And I hear everyone good too. So yeah, it's lovely to have you here. This is the first time we have a co-hosting session as well. So it's gonna be great, Noah, right? We're gonna do this together, you and me.
It's going to be fantastic, Mary. I'll let you lead, and I'll kind of be here as support to ask questions in between yours. I'm not gonna come here and steal your show. This is
no worries.
This is still your podium.
I was listening to another show you hosted, and you have great questions. So I'm sure we will be really fine. So yeah,
Thank you.
Let's start by introducing you guys, because you are ambassadors from STEPN, right? And maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what that means to be an ambassador for STEPN.
Sure. I think that James, may you start? You are the oldest, I think, no? I mean oldest ambassador.
The smartest, maybe.
And smartest, yes. Definitely.
Let's go, James. Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Yep. I've been an ambassador with STEPN since the early days. Being an ambassador just basically means we're out there with the community, helping to run live events where we go out and walk, jog, and run in the real world, host community events, help the community understand where the app's going and how it's growing and how it works. I'm based out of the U.S. I'm actually up on the Appalachian Trail hiking right now, so I get to use STEPN while I hike around.
That's great. All right. Who is the next in age?
Maybe Becca in age, but maybe I can go also next.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Perfect. So, I have been with the STEPN since the early days. I'm originally an athlete, so I'm sponsored also by ASICS. I'm a ultra marathoner. So our role is also what James mentioned. We are a team of ambassadors trying to really, of course, educate Web 2.0 or educate 2.0 players about Web 3.0, give them the right tools so they can really do the research and decide what they would like to do with the STEPN as an investment. But really our goal is to really inspire them to go outside, to move, because STEPN is a movement, and my background is all about a mental health and being active and really doing what you love doing and exploring the outside world, not really being at home. So I think that's mainly our goal, is to motivate others by creating challenges, creating fun stuff to do, and building a community of people who share the same hobbies and same interests. That's one of the things that we do here as ambassadors at STEPN.
Great, Fire Launcher. Thank you. And before we move on to next one, I think you have a world record of some
Yeah, that's
kind.
correct. That's correct. So I have a Guinness World Record. I have run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days, and I
Wow.
have done the North Pole the year after. So I have the Grand Slam. I'm also a mountaineer. I do mountain climbing, so I have done Kilimanjaro and Mont Blanc and Everest Base Camp. So I have done a couple of mountains as well.
Oh my God, that sounds really impressive.
Amazing. You should
Thank
share
you.
your photos, I think, now, so people see the
Yeah, I
North Pole
should
one.
definitely.
North Pole one was the
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
saw. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We would
It
love
was
to see those pictures from all over. Where can you see that? Do you have a web page or something? Maybe we could post that
Well,
later.
I mostly use my Instagram where I have all the stories and the pictures and all
Okay.
my journey, because I'm now on my dream of achieving 100 marathons within a few years. Now I'm at 77, and from now until next December 2023, I'm going to run 23 marathons, almost 2 or 3
Oh
in a
my God.
month. So I'm on that mission at the moment.
I want to know
follow
later
him.
what's driving you, but let's have the last person introduce
Sure,
himself first.
definitely. I will share later on.
Thanks, Fire Launcher.
So
So we have STEPN.
I'm
Yeah.
the newest ambassador in three of us. So yes, Fire Launcher explained really well what we are doing and what's our mission. So for me, it's more the visual and marketing skills. What I'm using as ambassador, I'm trying to express the ideas, infographics, and etc. Everything with the visual style. So if you see my content on the Twitter, it's more it's more design stuff. So
Nice.
I help other ambassadors. I help community members. We run challenges with Fire Launcher. So definitely everything what helps to keep community engaged and informed, because the STEPN is not a small project. It's not a easy one to understand the mechanics and economics behind it. So we have lots of to do with the community.
That's great. So we have lots to cover also here to understand more, maybe. Because I think in the audience there might be lots of STEPN users, but there might also be lots of people who maybe never heard about STEPN. It's quite a big project though, and I've heard about you. I haven't looked into it very deeply, but I know kind of what you're doing. You have to like move around and then you can earn tokens while doing that, right?
That's
In
it.
in
Yeah,
few
the
words, yes.
initial concept was to give people motivation to want to go outside and build healthy habits and walk, jog, or run every day, right? And so you can start at just 10 minutes a day. And the idea was that if you can combine those healthy habits of getting outside and exercising with Web3 in a way that you not only build community, but then can incentivize people by being able to earn NFTs and cryptocurrency to support these good behaviors, that can get people to want to start at 10 minutes a day and then build up. Maybe they start doing 20 minutes a day. Maybe they start doing 30 minutes a day. Maybe instead of walking, they start to jog or they start to run. And then someday we can aspire to be someone like Fire Launcher that can hike these mountaintops and run marathons and run ultra marathons and these crazy long distance things.
Yeah, you never know. I doubt that many in here will ever be like Fire Launcher, but maybe someone. He sounds like he has done a lot of things already.
Well, honestly, you'll be surprised, but also within the people we have now in the audience, we have some great stories. People who started with running and doing 10 minutes a day, and I see some faces that I know that they just have done their first marathon ever just because of STEPN and because of us, and they were motivated by our stories. I think if you put your mind into it, you can definitely achieve it. And I'm super proud of each one of them that they are here in the audience. Thanks for joining.
Very good. Noah, do you have something to add?
Yeah, certainly do. I mean, I think that STEPN is the first of its kind, or at least the first of its kind, to trailblaze in the space, and behind it were a bunch of other move to earn projects that kind of came to fruition. But I guess one of my first questions was, I know that at the beginning, at least the peak of STEPN, people that were using the app, that were involved in your ecosystem, were earning upwards of $100, $200 a day. And I know that one of the primary focuses of your ecosystem is to incentivize people to get outside and get moving and get healthy. I'm curious to know, the average user today, how much are they earning exactly?
That's a great question, Noah, and it really depends on the strategy of gameplay. And there's so much to the GameFi and the different ways to play this game. You can go out and earn our utility token, which is called GST. We also have a second token that is in part utility, but can also be a much more important token. We can go into later all the other apps that's going to tie into. It's called GMT. You can earn mystery boxes that have gems inside it. You can take your sneakers, which is our base NFT. There's walkers, joggers, runners, and trainers that represent different speeds that you want to go. And those can be used individually to go 10 minutes a day. You can build up an inventory of multiple sneakers. You can mint those together and make new sneakers that have new base attributes and qualities and gem slots that can do special things. You can combine 5 sneakers together to enhance them to get a different rarity of sneaker. So it starts with a common sneaker, and there's uncommons and rares and epics, and we now have these rainbow sneakers that are really fantastic. Somebody earning working with a rainbow sneaker could potentially make thousands of dollars per day, but that's really rare. Really, really rare. So the basic beginning user that starts with just a single sneaker that's 10 minutes a day, probably only making $1 or less a day. But then you can build up, and depending on what strategy you want to seek, you could make $10 a day. Maybe you'd make a lot more than that, but it's probably not sustainable to try to convince people that everybody can make $100 a day or more. You would have to exponentially grow the user base to have people constantly be buying sneakers and have them constantly be going up in value to make that sustainable. And that's not a great model for long term.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Mary. I saw you uncue your mic.
Great question, actually. I love that question. I have some also question, but I think we should maybe just take a step back, no pun intended, to start from the beginning a little bit. If there are people in here who doesn't really know anything about this project, what inspired to start this project we covered already. It's to get people out there to move, but how old is the project and how big is the team behind it, maybe? And start with that.
I can go again. So the project just celebrated its 1-year anniversary from when Jan and Jerry, our 2 co-founders, came together and formed Find Satoshi Labs. We had still in beta, but had a beta app that was out there and available not quite a year ago, but it's been a lot of months now that we've been able to go out and use it. One of the challenges that STEPN had to fight was that it was so popular and it was so novel in this new category of move to earn that millions of players wanted to come and download the app and use it. So we actually had to set up codes to where we could kind of monitor and control that demand of new people coming in. I think our last announcement, we announced 4.72 million players have downloaded the game and explored around. I think at our peak, we had over 1 million monthly active or daily active users rather that would log in and play on a given day. The development team has now expanded. I kind of alluded earlier to this kind of entire suite of apps. So there's the STEPN game. There is our own DEX that things can be traded on. We built our own anti-cheat. We're getting ready to launch more, which is going to be a marketplace and launch pad for NFTs. We've expanded from one blockchain, Solana, out to the BNB blockchain and now also on Ethereum. So we're multi-chain on 3 chains. There's just so much to it. I could talk an hour just about the depth of all that's going on within the ecosystem.
That's great. We have an hour, so go ahead. No, just kidding. Well, maybe we can also talk about this. You mentioned this more. What did you say? The name I can't pronounce it. More.
More. Like I want to know more. Teach me more.
Oh,
You know,
more.
projects deserve to have
Okay.
more. Yes, MOOAR. This is a brand new thing that's getting ready to launch in the beginning of November. There are ways to get access to it now, to get set up for it, which is pretty cool. We have all kinds of contests going on within STEPN to get access to it. Not a lot's been revealed yet. There's little bits and pieces that are being revealed along the way, but we do know it's a marketplace, likely to be on one of the 3 chains, if not more than one of the 3 chains that the STEPN game is on. And it's also going to be a launch pad where new NFTs can be launched. And there's some really exciting news that's going to be coming out over the next week or so about what makes the model behind More so much different than the other marketplaces that are out there and available now.
Great. And to play this game, we call it a game, right? We're out running or walking. What is it you need except for maybe shoes?
Great question. So, you know, initially you want to download the app on Android or iOS, right? You don't need a wearable device. You don't have to have an Apple Watch or a Whoop strap or anything. It's just basically download, install the app, and you can take it out without ever buying an NFT and use it for free and get to see, you know, the difference between, you know, the speeds that you might walk, jog, or run and how that works. You can explore the marketplace and look at the different sneakers that are available. You could join the Discord and get to meet the community and kind of get advice on should I buy a walker, or a jogger, or a runner? How does all that work? And there's a lot that you can do before ever having to buy your first NFT, but it's all based around the idea of bringing new people into Web3, into the idea of how do you set up your first wallet? What's a seed phrase? How does a marketplace work? How do I convert fiat currency into cryptocurrency? What kind of cryptocurrency do I need? What chain should I be on? How do I purchase my first NFT? Yeah, what do I do with that NFT? How do I earn with it? How do I upgrade it? How do I change it? What does it mean to have an NFT? And there's so much to it.
But do you have to own an NFT to start earn? Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, you don't need the NFT to download the app or to open the app or to walk around with it. But if you want to earn NFTs or if you want to earn cryptocurrency, you have to have a sneaker to start.
Okay, that's fine. All right, go Noah. I know you have lots of questions. It's your turn.
Well, first of all, James, thank you for being so thorough with your explanations. I like that you guys have gone multi-chain, and I've become more curious. I'm not too active on Solana, but I've become more curious about STEPN ever since. And as you mentioned, I guess it's not too expensive to get started and buy a sneaker. I am, though, curious about the Rainbow series. I'm glad you mentioned that earlier. And I know it's hard to achieve, but for those that are a bit optimistic, how would we go about our journey to potentially acquiring a pair of or a Rainbow sneaker?
Great question. I feel like I'm hogging the mic. Anytime STEPN Europe or Fire Launcher, you guys want to speak in, let me know.
Yeah, I see the same between you and STEPN Europe. So go ahead.
I could talk all day long. So Rainbows is something brand new that's just been introduced to the game, along with GMT earn. I mentioned earlier how there's 2 different tokens. There's GST, which is more the utility token, and then there's GMT, which is more the governance token, but has utility as well. And as we talk about all these other apps, the GMT is going to weave into the marketplace and to the launch pad and maybe to a social app that's coming down the road and a lot of other stuff too, but you can earn it in the game. And there's different attributes that come with the sneakers. One of the attributes is to earn more GST. Another attribute, luck, is to earn better mystery boxes. Another one is called comfort. And your comfort attribute lets you earn more GMT. And when GMT earning launched, we have these current sneakers, we call them classic sneakers, that if you have a lot of comfort as a stat, you can earn more GMT. And the neat part about GMT earning as opposed to GST is it's almost a player versus player, a PvP mode, where for any given minute of time, you're competing against all the other people out there that have a sneaker, and there's a certain pool of GMT available, and then it's divvied up amongst all those based on, are you trying to earn GMT, and then how much comfort that you have. Now, what we've done is we've taken that pool and those classic sneakers, and we've taken it one up to where in addition to having a sneaker with comfort that you're earning GMT on, you can take 5 sneakers that you can combine them together in what we call an enhancement, and that increases the rarity of a sneaker. So 5 common sneakers, the base level sneakers, when enhanced, give you an uncommon and a small chance that you even get a rare, which has much better base attributes, so you can earn a lot more. And now with this new rainbow, yes, ma'am.
What you just said, is that the same as you have on your white paper also to breed with the sneakers? That caught my eye.
A little bit different. A little bit different. Now, I'll explain the differences. So,
okay,
so minting or breeding would be taking 2 sneakers together, 2 common sneakers, and then you get a common shoebox as a baby. Now, you can take that common shoebox and sell it on the marketplace, or you can open it and see what's inside. And when you open it, that common shoebox gives you a great chance of getting a common sneaker that's got some mix of the attributes of the parents that came. So walkers generally will give you a walker baby, but a chance to give you a jogger or a runner or a trainer. 2 commons give you the highest chance of getting a common, and the gem slots and the everything else kind of fits into it as well, right? But then you also have this small chance of going up in rarity. So 2 commons could give you a common shoebox that opens to give you an uncommon. The enhancement's a little different.
But you can only do this once, or with each
No,
token?
you can do it as many times as you want. So when you look at the sneakers, each sneaker has a mint account on it. And so babies come and they've got 0 of 7 mints. They've never been minted before. They've never been a parent. They've never made babies. And so there's a cost in GST and GMT to combine 2 parents together and to make a shoebox, to make a baby. And then the more that they mint together, that cost to make more babies goes up. And then you could take those babies and add them to your inventory. That would give you more time to go out and walk, jog, or run every day. Or you could sell them on the marketplace. Or to go towards this rainbow thing that we were talking about, that's the other piece. Instead of 2 parents minting to make a baby, now you can take 5 sneakers and you can enhance them. And that gives you a guarantee that you go up a level in rarity. So 5 commons gives you a guarantee that you're going to get an uncommon with a small chance that you get a rare. So you go up 2 levels, which is pretty cool. And now you also have this small chance to get a rainbow sneaker, which is kind of like a lottery ticket, because the rainbow sneakers can earn so much GMT when you use them.
Wow, that's great. Go ahead, Noah.
I was just going to say, I like the idea of breeding is interesting to me. We saw it with Axie Infinity, and we see it with a number of other Play 2 ecosystems. But I like the idea of having this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that incentivizes people to keep on breeding and keep on track. Because I'm assuming when you breed, you're also burning NFTs. Correct me if I'm wrong, James.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the reasons we wanted to add this mechanic to the game was, in addition to having an exciting new way to earn and a way to kind of win that lottery, it also takes the floor price sneakers that are in the marketplace and the floor price gems and gives us a reason to buy up those that maybe don't have the most desirable attributes or base stats, and to burn them, to destroy them, to make something bigger and better with the chance of this lottery ticket. So the whole idea of the system that Jan and Jerry built is to kind of have this balanced economy, right? Everything in life has a homeostasis. It has a balance to it. And so if you have everybody earning GST and they're all going and they're spending their GST, then that token, it just decreases in value over time because everybody's just selling it. So you need reasons to take that GST and spend it. Now, if you add in GMT in addition, and half the community is earning GST, half the community is earning GMT, now that creates that homeostasis. It creates a balance. Now you've got people that are minting sneakers. And so you've got all these extra sneakers that are on the market, maybe more than there are people. Now you've got a reason to buy up those sneakers off the floor price of the market, to then combine them together to have a chance at the rainbow or a chance at a higher rarity sneaker. So it's all to balance everything out, to make the thing be able to work. In theory, hopefully 5-10 years down the road, we're still playing STEPN. We're still using the door, which is our DEX. We're still using the marketplace, which is the more. We're using the launch pad to launch new NFT projects. And this stuff all fits together and can sustain it for long term. Why we're getting people to join the community and go out and exercise and be incentivized to be a little healthier.
Great. So let's move on to Fire Launch. I want to hear more from you now, Fire Launch. I've heard, I listened today to, I just sneaked in at my lunch break or something, to some podcast or something here on Twitter or Twitter Spaces that someone from your space were talking about athletes and Olympic gold medalists and lots of people that are like famous who are using this app and training with it. Could you elaborate a little bit about that, or how many partners or ambassadors are there?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I mean, we are now more than 70 or 80 ambassadors.
Wow.
We have different type of ambassadors, and we are in different countries and regions. For example, I'm in the Netherlands and in Vietnam, James in the USA, and STEPN Europe and Georgia. So we're trying to have more ambassadors in different countries, different continents to cover, hopefully, the globe. And also we have different type of people, and that's what the team was looking after. So as Step Europe mentioned, so for example, he focuses more on creative. James honestly inspired me to start with my journey with Step N. In the early days, he was putting on his minting strategies, and I personally came to add more the challenges and the sports and the running part, because I'm originally a runner, and I have been using StepN since I think March, and my main goal was to be able to run a half marathon with the StepN and a marathon as well. So I was using StepN app while running marathons, official marathons in March and April and May. I honestly, those days were very good for StepN, and I was using the money to be able to travel around Europe and just do more running. But I definitely use Step N in my training on a daily basis. I still walk between 3 to 4 hours daily outside with Step N on all different realms. And I have a trainer. So the trainer will allow you to walk, run, jog, because you can go with the speed 1 to 20. And I use a trainer because I can do a lot of interval training. So I can walk and run. And that's what I do for my marathon training. um, I cannot run every day. It's funny, I'm a marathoner, but I don't like to run every day because that's unsafe for your joints and your body. So I never had a runner, but I have mostly only trainers, which I use on a daily basis.
So is there a limitation of how many StepN token you can earn in a day? You run all day long sometimes when you run marathons.
Yeah, the limitation is in the number of energy you can have that will allow you to walk or run few minutes or an hour or 2 hours a day. So it starts by having one a sneaker which will give you two energies. That's 10 minutes, up to maximum 30 sneakers that will give you around 20 energies every day. That's 1 hour 40 minutes. So that's the maximum you can have on one realm. And I personally have all of them. So I have Binance, Ethereum, and Solana. So I can switch between realms. So I can do 3 hours every day.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I didn't realize you could do that. You could switch between realms, and so that means that you can basically use up energy for every realm and move on to the next one. If you guys go like 5 chains, 6 chains, you can do that for every chain.
There are 3 at the moment. Yeah, so if we can have 20 energy on each one, and then you can go up to 60. I have, I think, 40 energy at the moment between 3 realms. So I switch between them every day. So I just keep on switching.
And is that per day you get those?
Yeah, that's per day. So I spend 3 hours and a half every day outside.
Did it ever happen that you didn't use up all your energy?
Yeah, only when I'm traveling. So I travel between Amsterdam and Vietnam, and that's 1 day traveling. So unfortunately, it doesn't work in the airport, and also it doesn't work. One time I was doing a cruise, also did not work. But usually, no, I make sure I use all my energy every single day.
You can jump up and down also, right?
It doesn't work. No, I wish it
doesn't
work.
work. You have to move.
No.
I
Yeah,
read
you
that
have to move.
you're not allowed to put it on your dog or something to have it
Yeah,
fun.
unfortunately, there was people doing that, but StepN
Yeah.
launched their own cheating system, and they were trying to catch that and eliminate all these kind of things that you cannot do it while in a car or cycling or in a scooter or on your dog.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defeats the purpose if you do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, exactly, because the purpose is just to be out and be healthy and to move and to really lose weight, do connection with your family or your friends or your colleagues or whatever. So that's really the purpose of STEPN.
Yeah. So you didn't cover what I was asking also. How many you said, but are there any other famous ones that you can mention that we know of?
Yeah, maybe
People?
James can help me here, but I know we have an Australian Olympic lady. She's in the team in Australia. And also we have a couple of people who are doing Ironman, like Bruno, who's doing in the Ironman as well. But I'm not sure if we have bigger names. Maybe James or Becca, can you help me on this one?
We have an Olympic speed skater as well. We've
Correct,
got
Tatiana.
yeah, and Everett from Atlanta, Georgia, who just qualified for the Ironman that's going to be in Hawaii. It's a good mix of people like myself that are hiking on the Appalachian Trail, people that are running marathons, people that ran their first marathon, and then Olympic athletes, people that have won Guinness Book of World Records like Fire Launcher. It's a good mix all over the place.
Yeah, so tell us more about your journey, James. What kind of sport is it that you do? I didn't really catch that. What is that? A trial?
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
I'm Swedish.
on the eastern part of the United States, going from Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way up into Maine, there's a trail that kind of follows the mountaintops. It's called the Appalachian Trail because it's the Appalachian Mountains. So it works its way and weaves its way all the way up through. I've got a spot in Georgia near the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail where I start, and there's about 75 miles worth of Appalachian Trail in Georgia that you can hike, and then up through North Carolina. At the border of North Carolina and Tennessee is the Fontana Dam, and then it works its way up through Tennessee and all the way up through the eastern states, all the way up into Maine. It's one of these things that a lot of people will go and drive near it, especially this time of year, see all the leaves changing color for fall and going into autumn, and the golds and the reds and the greens and the beauty of it. Some people will section hike and just do little sections and go see a waterfall that's along the trail or a scenic overlook, or go to one of the peaks of one of the mountains to be able to look and be able to see 2-3 states at the same time. And then the really insane ones like Fire Launcher will do what we call a through hike, where you'll actually strap enough equipment on your back that you can last 3, 4, 5 days without resupply, and then catch towns or ship your stuff along the way, and actually try to through hike the entire thing over the course of about 6 months.
Wow, that's insane. I met a guy who walked from Hong Kong to London. He should have had this.
Oh, wow. Okay. And also we have Becca. I think, Becca, you did the 5 days of mountaineering in the Georgia, right? In the mountains.
It was 3 days. It was 3 days. It was, yes. It's a Highlander experience.
Yes.
It is done in a lot of countries right now, and it was really nice experience. Yeah. So you are it's some kind of hiking with the premium night event. So you hike every day, whole day. And in the evening, in camping area, they are bringing the local cuisine, the beer, the music. So every 3 days, we had the whole day hike and the really nice, really nice events at night. So it was really fun. So if you will have some experience to go and get your tickets to the Highlander, I highly suggest to do it. And with STEPN, it's more fun.
So mostly eating and walking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And a good view, right?
And the mountains, the mountain with the glaciers.
That would be the most.
Georgian mountains are really nice.
I bet. We need to check all your guys' Instagram later.
Yeah, I think.
You should mention the Lindsay brothers as well. They're actually doing a trek following in their father's footsteps from decades ago, where they're going along the entire length of the Great Wall of China, and they're documenting it all with video and drones, and they're going on an amazing journey right now.
That's amazing, yeah. All right, Noah, take it away. You have a question, I'm sure.
So I believe the most common ways and activities that users typically engage in are running, jogging, walking. I'm curious to know, I know that the team has implemented an anti-cheat system, and maybe that has kind of limited them in what the app considers to be inertia and what it doesn't, or what it considers to be fair game inertia and what is not allowed. But curious to know if I can swim with this, if I can mountain climb with this, if I can even like lift weights with this, right? If there's a way to measure my heart rate, right? Because I'm doing quite a bit of work if I'm lifting weights. I know that's probably not a possibility at the moment, but what is currently possible in terms of qualifying to earn, and what is the team implementing in the near and distant future?
Great question, Noah. So the STEPN app on both Apple and Android uses a mix of the GPS satellites to see that you're actually outside moving. And then it also measures some biometrics off your device to see that it's actually moving with a normal gait. So let's say that you're pushing a baby stroller and that you take your phone and you set it in the cradle of the baby stroller in front of you. So it's not kind of bouncing up and down the way it would in your pocket. The phone will register back to the STEPN app that it's not getting that normal movement, and it'll show you're moonwalking, that you're cheating, because it can tell that you're on a stroller, or you're in a car, or you're on a bicycle, or you're on a skateboard, and you're not moving normally. So there's a mix of different inputs that the STEPN app pulls as a part of that anti-cheat to be able to detect, is this a real human being? Are you actually outside moving? The GPS satellites can see you traveling distances, right? Is it moving up and down as if it was in your hand and it bounces as you walk or jog or run, or in your pocket? And, for some people, that creates something where they have to kind of be mindful of. If you throw it in a backpack and it's just resting in the middle of your back, maybe it's not getting the same amount of movement as if it's in your hand or on a strap on your arm or in your pocket. But for the most part, the anti-cheat's pretty good at trying to figure out who's real and who's not. And then, of course, you get these people that will try to, okay, well, if one phone's great, I bet 10 phones is better. And they'll try to carry 10 phones with them at the same time, or they'll try to come up with some complicated computer program where they can spoof their GPS location and fake their movement. And so a lot of it's trying to catch those people that are using multiple devices at the same time, or that are trying to fake their location, and to detect the real people from the fakes. Because ultimately, if the point of this is to incentivize us to get outside and move, one, you really want people to go outside and move. And two, if all the incentives go to somebody that's faking it and cheating, then that kind of ruins the whole economy.
So just to follow up to that, I'm more curious to know if the team is finding ways to implement other physical activities. So, biking. I know that biking currently activates the moonwalking mode, but biking is a great exercise, and I would love to be able to go on my bike and earn some GST token. Or I love to swim. I would love to be able to go for a swim and somehow earn GST token. Mountain climb, as I mentioned before, weightlifting, just activities that currently aren't, I'm assuming aren't qualified activities. Is the team coming up with ways to implement those sometime in the near and distant future?
Great question. So the team definitely has the idea of this lasting for 5-10 years, right? And there's these wearable devices. You've got your Apple Watch and your Whoop strap, and there's rings that measure your heart rate and your pulse ox and all these different measurements that would allow you to bike or to swim, or who knows, maybe even incentivize you where if you sleep better at night, then you restore your energy faster to your sneaker. So they're always looking at ways to maybe expand from just walking, jogging, and running to these additional things. Currently, we don't have wearables implemented. That was actually something they looked at doing in the early days. And what they found is that so many of these wearable devices can actually function without the need of your phone being nearby at all. So you could be wearing an Apple Watch. It could record the data of your walk, jog, or run. And then at the end of that session, it could come back and then download that data to your phone, go into the app, and then that would give all the data to STEPN about how long you went, or how fast you went, or how many steps it was, all that. And we found that was pretty easy to fake that communication from the wearable device back to your phone, and that people could go in there and spoof that pretty easily, which would wreck the economy. So wearables is something that both Jan and Jerry, our co-founders, have talked about. They want to incorporate at some point, but right now they've got so many other projects they're working on with this marketplace and the Launchpad and the social app and the other things that it's not the number one most important thing. But I would not be surprised to see, other activities like you mentioned, swimming and biking and other things kind of come along the way as we progress this thing out to 5 to 10 years.
Great question, Noah. I like your questions. I'll steal some of them. No. Anyway, I would like to ask, because there are different seasons all over the world at the same time. Is there any way that you can collect data and know where the most activity is happening? I mean, can you see a trend, like more people are out jogging in Europe when it is like during summer or spring? Or I hope you understand my question.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys want to take this one, or you want me to just run?
No, go ahead.
You are doing
Keep on
We're
going.
down one of our listeners right now.
Great. It's a pleasure to hear you. So.
Thank you, guys.
The stage is yours.
We've got Crit down there listening. He's got an app called STEPN Stats, and the community, the entire community, has really come together to build an entire suite of apps and ways to see who's walking, who's jogging, who's running at different times of the day and different parts of the world, and how much energy and how much luck do you need to get a certain level mystery box, and what kind of gems and scrolls will come out of those mystery boxes. And as we implemented this new GMT earning that I was telling you about, that almost has this PvP-like component where you're competing against the other people in the world for what time of day you want to exercise to be able to earn the most GMT, even more so with the rainbows. 2 rainbow sneakers compete against at the same time, then they're really cutting in half the amount that they can earn. We can use apps like Crit's STEPN Stats to be able to show when and where and how we're exercising, what base stats we have and how much we're earning, what we're getting out of the mystery boxes, and there's that data out there, but it's more community acquired data and shared data. And sometimes you don't even want to share with your competition when you might be exercising. So it's not all inclusive. It's not everybody that shares, but a lot of us do. And you kind of get an idea of the hot spots in the world of where the most people are and what times of day they exercise. And so part of the strategy of the game is sometimes trying to go out and earn at times when other people are not.
So where in the world are people running around most then?
It's really worldwide. There's a lot.
That's good.
And the Asian countries, there's a lot in Europe, there's a lot in the United States. The founders are based out of Australia, so Australia has a big group. Fire Launcher has been able to travel to a lot of different countries, and we do these live events where you can actually meet up with each other and win sneakers, win NFTs, get shirts, get hoodies, and it's a worldwide phenomenon, which is really, really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, thanks, James. Honestly, I was about to talk about this, and thanks for the intro. I just want Mary to mention this part of what we do as well. We do a lot of offline events around the globe. At the moment, we have a team doing a Euro trip. So if anyone listening to us in Europe, the team will be heading to Zurich, then Milano, then France, the south of France. Then there's a big event in Lisbon and Barcelona. So if anyone, and finally they will go to Greece to run the authentic marathon of Athens, and there are actual events, physical events in each of these cities where the team will do some fun challenges. They will do 5K, 10K. They will take part in park runs and actual marathons, and then they will give a lot of merchandise. So if anyone would like to just go and meet the team, you can find all the information on STEPN official Twitter account. Also, you can reach out to us. But one of our main also roles, Mary and the team, we do these events to bring the community together, to really meet face to face. And I was really lucky and grateful for that. I have met, for example, STEPN Europe in Georgia, in Tbilisi. We did a big event. I have been to Amsterdam. I have been to Paris and also to Vietnam. with STEPN, meeting the local communities and building bonds with all of them.
Great. Noah, your turn.
Sorry about that. I was having some issues unmuting my mic. Yeah, so a question for you guys. I can see the reason why you would launch your own NFT marketplace. I don't, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, I don't understand the purpose or reason for having your own launchpad. Maybe you can shed some light onto that. It seems like the industry is so saturated with launchpads. Everyone's trying to do it. And again, just my biased opinion, or I guess my personal opinion, is I feel that the amount of effort being put into something like a launchpad would be better allocated towards finding different ways that people could participate in the ecosystem that weren't just limited to running or walking or jogging.
Great question, Noah. And some of the answer probably goes into some stuff that we can't reveal quite yet. That'll come out over the next couple of weeks about what makes more this marketplace and launchpad unique and different from what's out there. But from a general sense, if you step back and say, okay, we're at a point where we know that there are millions and millions and millions of Web2 users on apps like Strava and other places that have never gotten their first cryptocurrency wallet, don't know what a seed phrase is, don't understand what an NFT is, how to earn cryptocurrency, how to transfer between chains, any of this. And so part of what Find Satoshi Labs, the parent company of STEPN, is trying to do is almost build a super app, a suite of apps, maybe even a walled garden of apps, where if that brand new Web2 user can come in and they can download the app, maybe they can use fiat currency right through Apple Pay to transfer in some currency, to buy their first cryptocurrency, to set up their first wallet, to buy their first NFT, to earn other NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Then there could be a marketplace attached to that, the DEX attached to that, where they could exchange things, and then they could use what they earn to buy other NFTs. And so the idea is that if you have millions of current users and potentially hundreds of millions of more that could come into this, that then all within one ecosystem, without having to get stuck with all these scams that are out there, you would be able to safely, within one walled garden of apps, be able to buy new projects that are just launching for the first time. And so, a brand new project that's trying to determine, what marketplace do I want to launch on? What launchpad do I want to use? How do I generate a whitelist of users? Could come to a suite of apps like STEPN, where we've got a built-in user base, and potentially whitelist spots could be hidden in our mystery boxes. Maybe, maybe they bring their community over. And so there's going to be some cool things that are going to happen that haven't been announced quite yet.
Yeah, and what I was going to ask was about the future. I mean, because you already now started to mention about that. What is the big plan for STEPN? How are you going to keep this up? Because it's a bear market now, right? It's maybe not as hyped as it might have been at times already. And what is your strategy to keep it going and keep the inflow coming, so you can, because when you give out tokens, I mean, it must come from somewhere, and probably, yeah, tell me where does it come from? What's the inflow?
Yeah, great question, Mary. So the two different tokens are very different. The GST is that utility token, and it's got an unlimited supply. So the more people that download the app and get a sneaker and go out and earn it, that could go up to infinity. But then there's ways to spend that GMT or that GST. And so as you spend it, it burns it and kind of limits it some, but it could go up. The other token, the GMT, it's got a fixed supply. So as that's used, as it's burned, there's always going to be less and less of it available, like some of the other bigger cryptocurrencies. So in theory, that value should go up over time. But I think the bigger question you're asking is, during the bear market, how do you grow? What do you do? How do you keep this thing going? And so what Jan and Jerry have really tried to communicate to everybody is that builders build. And, they could just focus on STEPN and just be doing marketing campaigns to Web2 users and trying to bring in as many new people as possible. But during a bear market, it might not be the best time to do that. They could be buying into NFTs and cryptocurrencies that could be decreasing in value. And so that's why you see a big push right now for them to build this anti-cheat, for them to build the DEX, for them to build the marketplace and the launch pad and the social app and this whole suite the super app. Mabel, our chief revenue officer, mentioned on Twitter today that they're almost building this super app of all these things that fit together, so that as we start to get out of the bear and it's time to then go out and really do the marketing push to find those new users, if somebody brand new can come in from Web 2 and buy a sneaker for 25 or 30 bucks and make $1 a day and get their first NFT and their first cryptocurrency and their first wallet and sell that sneaker and buy a different NFT, this all works together. And so it's really building during the bear to be set up then for the next bull.
I think that's the only way to go, actually, to do that, as you said, now build now. But still also, let's say the bull market comes now and your NFTs, they will be very, very expensive. How will people afford to buy them? How you plan to solve that, if that's an issue? Or is it a fixed price always?
You should buy now.
So it's an open marketplace, and the sneakers. Yeah.
I mean, you should buy now. Yeah.
So one of the things that Jan and Jerry have talked about is the ability to have a lease or a rental, where maybe a brand new user can come in and get a sneaker without having to buy their first NFT and almost earn that first sneaker. That's something that we kind of put on the back burner because it's not really needed today. But there's things they're thinking about that when you try to onboard that brand new Web2 user, let's say the first sneaker costs a lot more than what it does today. How can they get involved in the game and earn their way to get to that first sneaker instead of having to buy it out of pocket?
Cool. Yeah, time flies when you have fun, guys. So already an hour, but let's have some last questions from Noah, and then we will start, maybe see where we can go with this.
Yeah,
Any more
sure.
questions, Noah?
Yeah, sure. So I was curious to know, I know you guys have a number of different game modes. Some have not been released, some are currently live. I guess the solo mode is probably the most popular, but what game modes, and this question is for each of you, what game modes, current and future, excite you the most?
Yeah, maybe I will start. I'm super excited for the marathon mode because I run marathons, and I think that would be super exciting to see the social fi element and the badges and the competition within the app. At the moment, me and a few other ambassadors and STEPN Europe have been doing a lot of weekly challenges, from push up to, I don't know, cuisine and many other stuff, but that's outside of the app. But I think I'm sure, I think we're going to hear the same from the team, that we are all looking forward to the social element, where we can see a leaderboard where I can compete with the James on who will hike more, and we will be able to hopefully receive some badges that can give us unlock some elements in the app.
Great. So what I was thinking before, if you have an NFT, you can participate, right? And that's good. But you have to use Solana to buy it, right? Why did you go Solana and not Binance? I mean, isn't Binance more popular chain to use for?
It's a great question. So you can actually buy sneakers on Binance. You can buy them on Ethereum, which we call our Ethereum, and you can buy them on Solana. Solana was our first blockchain, and our founders actually went to a Solana hackathon and won a big competition in the early days, and were really aligned with all the benefits that Solana has with its transactions per second and so many other things. But we also recognized at the same time that not everybody's on Solana, not everybody knows Solana, and that there is a big group of people on Binance and Ethereum and these other areas, and that if you're going to launch a marketplace, launch a launch pad, that being on Ethereum is probably really important because there's some premier projects that are over there that you'd like to be associated with. And I would not be surprised to see us go to additional chains as well. But initially, Solana, I think, was a big part of the ecosystem, of the actual Solana team and their ability to help our team build the app initially, winning that hackathon. There was a lot to picking Solana first, but it's definitely a suite of apps that they want to have on multiple different blockchains.
Oh yeah, I remember Fire Launcher said he has 3 different now. Sorry about that. Anyway, one last question before we move on to the end. Educational. How do you help new people join in? Do you have like educations for them to how to buy and start up? I see your white paper is pretty thorough there, so that's a thing. But how do you get the first contact with them? I mean, once they come in, I'm sure you take care of them good, but how do you find them?
I tell you, STEPN Europe is phenomenal for this. He is a master at making graphics that take some of these more complicated GameFi elements and make them understandable. Ultimately, it's the community itself that does it, right? We have community members that some of which become ambassadors that make YouTube videos. They do Twitter spaces. They start podcasts. They join in Discords and Telegram groups and Facebook groups. They go out and they invite their friends and their family to here, take one of my sneakers, try it for free and see what you think, and then kind of teach them, and then watch this video and go watch Barn Dog on YouTube and go watch the STEPN community podcast and join a Discord. We actually had our first Discord server get up to 500,000 people. It was so busy in there that the quality of the server that Discord had made it to where when we tried to do stage events in the Discord, you couldn't hear certain people. We expanded to a second Discord, filled that one up with another 500,000 people, went to a third Discord. And so the community itself, I think, is the biggest part of that answer, Mary, is that, STEPN, I don't think, can teach everything. And I don't even know that we'd want to, right? Would you want to have an app that tried to show videos and teach you how to get a wallet and how to do all that? Or would you rather go out and find people in your local community that can join you at an event? Maybe it's a local running group, maybe it's something at the local college, maybe it's something at the local trail, something to do with sport, that they get to share it with each other. They can kind of teach you how to do it. They can steer you to the right videos. And the community, I think, is the basis of any of these Web3 projects. Without the community, I don't think any project would succeed. It certainly wouldn't grow as big as what STEPN has without that community. And so that's a massive part of it.
Yes, I agree. The community is really important. And for sure, I rather have the mouth-to-mouth experience, or what to say, than read an ad. I mean, if you get it from friends and you can see how they earn and how they maybe start moving more and lose weight or get healthier, that's the best advertisement you can have, I think. So I like this project. It's a really good one, and I know you have been here for a long time, which means it's a long-term project. You're here to stay, so it seems, and you're here still in the bear market and just building more and more, which is great. So I love that you were here, guys, and it was a great honor to host you, and together with Noah, of course. And thank you so much from both of our communities that were here to listen, and also all new people who maybe just fell into this by clicking a link somewhere. That was great to have you as well. And I hope that you can come back maybe after you launch all your new items, or what to call it. Sorry, my English is not as good as it could be, maybe, but I hope you understand me. And
Yeah, definitely.
let's have some final words from all of you guys.
Sure, definitely. And maybe just a last comment from maybe each one of us before we close it. I want to thank you for having us, Noah.
I just want to thank you both, Mary and Noah, for having us here. And it's been a pleasure to get to talk to your audience and tell them a little bit about STEPN and what we have coming and where we've come from and what we're doing now. The future is definitely bright, I think, for so many of these Web3 communities and projects. And I can't wait to see where all this stuff goes.
Yeah. Same. Thank you guys for hosting us. Yeah, and for the people who are interested in STEPN, I think it's the best time to step in. So now you can buy. Yeah.
Very good, Steven.
Yeah, it's the block price for the NFTs are really low, and the habits you will get in a month can be it's more expensive than any NFT in the world. So this app is really motivating you, really gives you the best possible health habits. So who wants to try, I think it's the best time. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. Oh, and I almost forgot. I do have one last question. That is, do you guys eat pizza with or without pineapple?
I love with pineapple. I love with pineapple.
with the pineapple as well. I will take that.
Yeah.
So
James,
what's
what about
winning,
you?
with or without?
I heard you said.
Noah, you can also participate in this one.
I gotta be the black sheep here. I'm not too big with pineapple on pizza.
Okay, one no. And STEPN,
Yeah, I'll definitely go
Yes.
with the
yes.
pineapple. Yeah.
Fire launcher, do you eat pizza with pineapple?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I will take it with the pineapple. No problem. I like that.
Good.
So I'm
And
on mute,
James?
but I don't hear him coming through. One of my favorite things in the world is to eat cold pizza the next day. And so I'm more of a meats guy. The sausages and all the different pepperonis and the meats that can be on there. Pineapple's fine, but man, there's such better ways to eat a pizza.
Okay, you're not totally against it though.
You
Just
tie me
one.
down and give me a pineapple and ham and take me to a luau in Hawaii, I'll eat it. But I'd rather have some big chunks of meat on there.
All right. That's great, guys. Always nice to have a laugh at the end. So, well, lovely to have you, and you also, Noah. Do you want to say something, Noah? Some final words from Whale Coin Talk?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you for the guests for coming on today. That was awesome. I really enjoyed speaking to all of you and learning more about STEPN. And thank you so much to Mary and the Crypto Miners for allowing me to join your podium and be a part of this broadcast.
Thank you for coming. It was fun, right? So yes, guys, make sure to tune in next time we have a Twitter space, and that will be soon, I'm sure. And have a good one, wherever you are, guys, all over the globe. So take care, and thank you for listening. Bye now.